Okay. So, so going into this game, going into any game when you're playing jungle, right? You have to look at like you can't just gank lanes arbitrarily, right? Like gank top, gank mid, gank bot, whatever. You have to look at what what your lane matchups are, uh, which lanes are winning, which lanes are easier to gank, and through this you do your like pathing and ganks and all that. So that's every single game. This is not champion specific, right? So this specific game, right? Top lane is Alawi versus Gnar. So typically you don't have to help Alawi, and also ganking Gnar is really hard. The only time you can gank Gnar is if he's like, I don't know if you can see this, but is if top lane is like this, and the towers are here, and Gnar is sitting like over here. Does OBS catch this? Yeah, it does. Okay. So that's the only time you can gank Gnar, is if he's like well overextended, right? If he's sitting in the middle of the lane or near his tower, it's going to be impossible to gank that, right? So you don't want to go top lane. Mid lane is... let me go back a sec. Mid lane is Fizz. You have the Fizz versus Galio. That's a pretty free gank. Yeah, it's a pretty free gank because Galio in lane, he has to push, right? Like he has no choice except to push, right? His Q pushes the wave, his passive pushes the wave. If he tries to E Fizz, his E will push the wave. But just from his passive and his Q, the wave pushes like really hard, right? So the wave constantly pushing means it's just a free gank. Bot lane is Teemo Jinx. That's kind of hard to gank because Teemo doesn't offer any stun or anything. Also kind of hard to gank because of Tristana being able to jump away. But your best bet is mid lane, and then after that side lanes in no particular order, right? So your like order of priority here should be mid lane first, and then maybe bot and maybe top, depending on how the waves look. And speaking of waves, if when I say waves, I'm talking about like hold on, let me go. Let me go to this. Come on, load. Let me just show you gank pathings real quick. Okay. So right here in top lane, right? Here's where the minion wave is naturally, right? This dashed line over here is where the minion wave is naturally, right? In this Alawi versus Gnar scenario, you can only gank Gnar if he is past this pink line. If your Alawi is blue side, because that's what I believe you are, if Gnar passes this line, you can gank him. If he's not past it, right, his jump will take him to like, I don't know. He jumps one, if he hits you, he jumps another, he's at his tower. If he jumps one and just runs it, he's at his tower, right? So he has to be past this line in order to be ganked. Okay, so if you see that your minion wave has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, if you have 8 minions on your side and he only has 1, 2, 3, 4 minions, right, then it's very clear that this wave is going to push this way, right? If this wave goes to Gnar's tower, then Gnar is going to end up standing over here, which means he's ungankable, right? So this entire lane, this push takes about, I don't know, 20 seconds, 20 to 30 seconds, depending on how many minions. So when you're, the reason this matters is because when you're all the way in mid lane, right? So you're all the way, let me get rid of all this, taking up room. Okay. So if you're standing over here, right, and you see the waves start to push, now you have two options, right? Let's say you just ganked mid lane. So you have two options now. You can either go down bot lane, or you can go up top lane, or you can back, right? You can recall B. So if like a number, it's like a giant game of chess, right? So if you see this wave starting to push, then by the time that the 10 to 15 seconds it takes for you to run top lane, by that time this wave will be over here, Gnar is under his tower, and you just wasted your time. Because then you're going to sit in this bush, you're going to sit right here, and you're wasting your time. Because Gnar's going to be at his tower for the next 15 to 20 seconds, right? So, that being said, you can eliminate top lane as a possibility, right? And then maybe Evelynn here, you can go down to your rates, you can recall back to base, you can run bot lane, take your camps here, whatever. But that's just, understanding waves and matchup. Like the two are hand in hand, right? And then let's go to mid lane. For mid lane, Galio's abilities, we already established that they push really fast. So Galio is permanently, like the entire laning phase, Fizz will be under his tower and Galio will be up here. Okay, this means this gank works, this means this gank works, this means this gank could work. This means this gank works, and this gank works, like around from here. I don't mean through the buff, I mean through here. This is why mid lane is priority, right? Because it's easy. As for bot lane, even though Tristana naturally pushes the lane, the reason it's hard is because since you are blue side, right? Since you're blue side, you can come through here and gank, or you can come through here and gank. Okay? This means if Tristana and Braum are not in this box, you can't gank them. Okay, if they're standing over here, right? Then Tristana jump gets her away, right? So you don't want to come bot lane looking for a gank when it's just not possible. Right? And it's just using your time efficiently. You can go farm a camp, you can go do whatever. But that's just using your time efficiently. And this is all just before the game starts. The stuff that I just said is not this game specific, it's every single game. Okay, so we start this is good. I'm just gonna speed it up a little. Wait, hold on. Nope, not that. Okay. Wait for camps to spawn. Okay, we take. Okay. So you started topside here. When you start topside, this is again another note. When you start topside, right, you go this buff and then you go here, and then at 3 minutes you will be on this side of the map, right? When you start red buff, you end on this side of the map, right? So good for starting blue buff here, because if you end top side of the map, the only lanes that you can gank are top lane and mid lane. Now, we already established top lane, kind of a dub, don't really want to go there. Mid lane you could, but mid lane, if you start top lane and then end bot side, you can gank bot lane and mid lane, so you can still gank mid lane, so it's all good. I do like the blue buff start here, because I think being on the bot side of the map, okay, that shouldn't have reset. Being on the bot side of the map in this game is good. You don't need to play topside. Okay, so it looks like you're invading. Okay, who are you jungling against? Fuck. Okay, you're jungling against Nocturne. I don't think Evelynn can kill Nocturne level 3. I do not believe Evelynn can kill Nocturne level 3. So, invading would be pointless. Right, okay, hold on. What's happening here? You go in to steal his camp. Okay, he shows up, you have to leave. So all in all, yeah, okay, and leaving is important here, because if you don't, you get collapsed on, you die. Anyway, so this ended up wasting a lot of your time. Unless you're playing Shaco, you don't need to invade like that. For like early invades. Shaco, Ivern, you don't, unless you're playing those two champions, you don't need to invade. Okay, good kiting, pulled it in the bush, that's good. Gonna have to smite it. Yep. Okay. No, you don't, okay, Evelynn is a champion that her power spikes are at level 3, level 6. Right now you're level 2. You're not at this power spike yet. You need to go farm this, you need to farm this, Scuttle Crab maybe for HP. I don't know. But you can't make this gank happen. You're only level 2, right? So, okay, like let's say right here, right? You have a bunch of decisions. You can go to your Wraith camp and clear that. You can gank. You can't gank a lane because you're not level 3 yet, right? So that makes it a little hard. So you can go Wraiths, you can go Scuttlecrab, and the other option is to go to his Gromp and his Wolf camp. And here's why. These two camps, Wolf Gromp, they're both up for him. He did not take them yet. Because you went from your blue buff directly to his red buff, right? He went from his blue buff. If he took his wolves, then he would not have been there. He can't have been there because he just doesn't have enough time. For him to get there means that he just went blue buff straight to red buff, right? And so logically, so then Nocturne either goes Wraiths or Wolves, but he definitely doesn't go Gromp. After his red buff, he either cleared one of these 3 camps, right? But he definitely did not go Gromp. He can't. It's too far. So that means his Gromp is still up, which means you can go take that. Take that, get you level 3. Gank bot lane. Oh, they face check. I think you die here. Okay, you flash. Yeah, see, this is why you need level 3. You're too squishy. You're far too squishy. This should have happened first, and then try to make a play bot lane. Okay, TP comes in. No, do you see he's level 4? Okay. While you ran from here all the way here, took your red buff, ran over here, and waited and fought this, he probably cleared this, and maybe Scuttlecrab, which gives him level 4. Not sure if he shopped yet, because I can't see his items, but this fight is not a fight that you win. Even if Fizz runs down, I don't think you win this, because Galio's following. Yeah, I think you just got him killed. Oh. Yeah. You can just leave that. Like, there's no reason to like, if Nocturne wants to take your Wraiths, you have to let him. And then you let him, and then you go to your Wolf camp. Because fighting that it's not necessary. Evelynn is a better champion than Nocturne is, so you don't have to, like, you know, 1v1 him over camps. Okay. Here, again, you have like a few decisions, right? When you left mid lane, you could either recall or clear this entire side of the jungle. Okay. So if you clear the side of the jungle, you do this, you do your Gromp, right? Okay, you do Gromp. And then what? Then you can either gank or you can back. But really, you can't gank because you have all this unspent gold. You'll likely have 1,300-ish after clearing both camps. And you will be low and you will have no mana, right? So then you are forced to recall, and then what, right? The alternative, which is like a lot better, would be you're right here, you recall right here, you spend this gold, you get jungle item boots, right? You run here, take this, then you take wolves, then you take Gromp, and then you can gank any, or not any, then you can gank top and mid lane, and you're fine. Like, you don't have to back right after, right? So it's like, I don't know, thinking ahead. And you're running low on mana. Yeah, smite in 15, should be able to clear this. Yeah. See, now you're forced to back, like I said. Like, there's no real need to. Okay. And now you're going for your blue buff. Yikes. Okay, so do you see how you just took all your camps here, right? You took your Gromp, you took your Wolf camp, and now you have to come back to this side of the jungle in order to get your blue buff, right? This is like, it's wasting time. It's not time efficient, right? If you backed and then you came, you could have taken everything on this side of the jungle, and then you're free to leave this side of the jungle, right? When your blue buff is up, you can't just leave. You have to, like, take it, or Nocturne's gonna take it. So you want to try to, like, hit 2 birds, or 3 birds in this case, 3 birds with 1 stone, and get all your camps at the same time, so you don't have to come back to this side of the jungle that you just cleared. Okay, and I assume here you're looking to get your level 6, which is fine. Okay, now right here, you go take your red buff and you go take your wraith. You do not come this side of the jungle, and here's why. Do you remember what I said about the bot lane thing? Do you see where the wave is? It's going to take another 30 seconds for this wave to hit the tower, reset, bounce, and come back towards your team, right? Because as of right now, it's like it's under Tristana's tower. There's nothing you can do in this lane. Mid maybe, but oh, there's pink. Oops. Okay. Now do you see bot lane? Now is when you can head bot lane. Bot lane or mid lane? Does Fizz have ulti? Okay, Fizz has ulti. This should be a kill on Galio. This is really easy. Okay. Okay. He should have ulted there. That's okay, I guess. Okay. Alt. Don't flash. Alt. Oh. Yeah, don't flash that. Ulti. Because if you flash first, your flash has a, like, you know, a much longer cooldown. A cooldown 3 times as large. So if you ult first, and she doesn't chase you, then you save your flash. If she does chase you, then you end up blowing both. It's whatever. She ended up chasing you, so you end up blowing both. It's like, it didn't really matter in this case, but for future reference, use the thing with the lower cooldown first. Because what if she didn't chase you there? Then you would have just blown flash when you could have blown ulti. You see what I mean? Like there was a better alternative. Yep. So we clear this. This is good. See Gnar. Okay. Is he mega? Okay. He's about to get ulted on. So wait. Good. Yikes. I think you should have sat top lane because yeah. Okay. So let me go back a second. Okay. So we know Nocturne is right here, right? We know he's right there. We know his ulti range, I'll draw it in blue, is probably like this. Right? That's probably about his ulti range. Maybe a little shorter here, but you know, that's about his ulti range. So we know that and then we know that Alawi, right? Look at where, remember the thing I told you about the position of the lane? This is middle. Look at where Alawi is, right? So this Nocturne is probably thinking like, yeah, I'm going to kill this Alawi, it's going to be good. The reason he's waiting is this, right here. You see that rage bar? Gnar can't do anything. Gnar cannot keep Alawi still if Gnar doesn't have Mega Gnar, right? So, and he's almost there. So Nocturne's just waiting for this to hit. When you leave, he doesn't know you're there, right? So he didn't go in because you left, but if you were here, this would be a 2v2 and not a 2v1, and maybe it would make a difference. Because I'm expecting Alawi to die, because Mega Gnar has a lot of CC, and Nocturne also has a fear. Yep. Or pass the pink, so they know where you are now. He ults, Alawi's dead. Yep. If you were there, might have been able to save her. And there you see Mega Gnar. He just came out of it because that's what they were waiting for. But she's dead now, and you cover the wave. This is good. Your blue buff. This is fine. Look mid lane here. Look mid lane. Do you see where Galio is? The reason Eve is a better jungler than Nocturne is because Nocturne is reliant on his ulti, right? He can't. It's very hard for him to gank a lane without his ulti. Evelynn does not have that problem. Okay, she can run into a lane and just fuck someone up. Okay, that was bad. You can't kill him. I told you. Nocturne is a Nocturne beats Eve until Eve gets some kills and gets some items and just starts one-shotting things. But you're not that strong yet. Although even if you did have kills there, it wouldn't have mattered because that fight should not have happened. After you didn't catch Braum, probably should have tried to leave or yeah. Also, a note, it's 15 minutes now, and you haven't gotten a good gank off yet. You have not gotten a good gank off yet. This is one of the reasons I play Elise so much. It's because she's capable of ganking every lane 3 times before it even hits 9 minutes, right? Eve can do about the same thing, maybe not. She can definitely gank a lot, right? Maybe not as much as Elise, but definitely a lot. This guy should not be allowed to sit all the way up here. He should not be allowed to sit here or even sit here for the most part of laning phase and not get punished. He just shouldn't be. You don't need to land your charm. When you gank a lane, look, you don't have to kill him, okay? If you run into lane when he's level 5 and you just get him this low, he's going to leave. If he leaves the lane, he misses CS. Let me put this down here. If he leaves the lane, he misses CS, he misses XP, he misses gold, right? Because he misses CS, he misses these 2 things. Eventually, if you do this 3 times, right, and let's say he misses 1 wave each time, right, and you do it 3 times, that's, I don't know, 6 minions in each wave, that's 18 minions. 18 minions times, I don't know, I think it's like 19 or 20 per minion. Point is, he's missing a fuck ton of gold and a fuck ton of XP. Eventually, right, Fizz would be level 9 and Galio should be like level 7 or level 8. And then Fizz can kill him on his own. When you gank a lane, the goal isn't to kill, although like kills are great, right? But the goal isn't to kill, it's to get your laner ahead. Okay. 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 That went pretty bad. Yeah. At this point, like that gank would have worked. It wasn't a bad gank, but it should have happened earlier. At this point, Galio's really tanky, and it doesn't matter. Or not to say it doesn't matter, but he can like 1v2 now. This happens. Leave. You're dead. As soon as she first off it's a 1v2, you can't do it. 2. Well, actually, there's like multiple things. Braum has a stun. As soon as they pop heal, you definitely couldn't do it because they're too much HP. So at this point in the game is, it's probably not winnable for like 2 reasons. One is that you guys are already behind in gold, and 2 is you have a Teemo support. Holy fuck, he's strong. The reason the Teemo support matters is because he doesn't have any crowd control, and he's already behind. So he doesn't do anything for the team. He doesn't do anything. Yeah, look at how much Teemo's doing this fight. Nothing. He doesn't even do damage. I think Nocturne was healing. It's killable ulti? Nice, good kill. Oh, can you outrun him? Oh, okay, he has speed. Unlucky. That's fine. We got, okay, that was a 1-for-1, so that wasn't as bad. Yeah, like it's essentially a 4v5, which is why it's impossible to win. If, or not impossible, it's really hard to win. If you had maybe a Leona, or anything except, wow, that was unlucky. If you had anything except a Teemo, then I'd say it's winnable. To win a game when you're behind like this, you have to make picks with your team. So since you're Eve, it's kind of easy for you because they can't see you. You know, if you find Tristana running around on her own CSing, you can kill her. You find, who the fuck's her mid laner again? No, you can't kill their mid laner. It's actually Tristana, only Tristana that you can kill. If you find Tristana running around on her own, you can one-shot her. catching her out, going for objectives, defending towers, waiting for them to dive, because people have a really, like, even up in Diamond 2, people have a bad habit of diving towers for no fucking reason. So if you can, like, catch them when they dive, you're dead. Oh, nice ulti. So, ooh, that was really close. So if you can, like, capitalize on their mistakes, so when they dive towers, you kill them, things like that, you can come back into the game. Like, this game, you ended up taking a really passive role, like passive jungle role, due to the way you pathed and actually, yeah, that's it, just pathing. Rip. Strong Galio. Holy fuck. Yeah, this game's over. Like, this game being dragged on for so long is just, it's just because the enemy team is bad and they can't end the game. Yeah, I'm looking at the kills. The enemy team is bad and they can't end the game, but it looks like they end up getting Baron and ending the game. I just want to go back here, right? I just want to go over the early game again. Because, like I said, if you look at a replay of a Korean jungler, whatever you want, the amount of times they gank, it's like insane, right? They're ganking all over the place. They're trying their best to impact the game, right? Because a jungler's job is to interact with his laners, right? It's to get them ahead. When you don't do that, especially on a jungler like Elise, like Evelynn, then you're like wasting Evelynn's potential. Like, Evelynn can do all these things. She can gank, she can go invisible, come around from behind, avoid wards, and all that ends up happening this game is you farm a lot, right? So what's the difference here if you were playing Master Yi, or if you're playing Evelynn, or if you're playing Morgana jungle, or if you're playing, I don't know, Teemo jungle? Like, what's the difference? Right? When you pick a champion like Evelynn, you have to understand their strong points and their weak points. Right? Evelynn isn't supposed to be like this huge team fighter. She's supposed to be this like this ganker, this pick potential, kind of like Kha'Zix, right? You don't see Kha'Zix as AFK farming the whole game, because then they're never gonna get kills. They're never gonna be able to carry the game. Evelynn is kind of the same way. You can't play her like you would Master Yi or whatever. Like, this passive farming style, it's not helping you. Because remember, I said it earlier in the VOD, I'll say it again. You clearing these camps here means that you then have to back afterwards. As opposed, like, the better decision, right, is to back first, clear this, and then you can get a gank off, right? Now, since you do these camps first and then you back, you can't get the gank off. And you do this over and over again, and it ends up happening that you don't get any ganks off. Like, do you see? No, not now. I'm talking. I'll tell you after, when you're backing. Just watch mid lane. Watch Galio's positioning. Do you see where the wave is just now? Look at where Fizz is standing. If you look mid lane right now, the wave is right here. Or I'll do it in a different color so you can see properly. The wave is right. The wave's right there, right? Galio went toward this side. When you're jungling, you should be looking at your laners. Look at where you want to go next. Look at what's gankable, where the enemy laners are, where the waves are. Right, you look top lane right now. Top lane's pushing in. Look bot lane right now. Looks like they're fighting, but you see the minion wave like right around there. Mid lane, the minion wave is right here, and we saw Galio go this way. So he's either warding somewhere here, or he's going to ult bot lane for this fight. And we know all this information just by like taking a quick glance at the map. You know what I'm saying? Okay. If you backed first, and then you came, you would be done with this camp and that camp, the wolf camp, about now, or 10 seconds from now. Look at where Galio is. Imagine if you came, you got your items, you came back, cleared that, and then you ran over through here, and then you ganked the Galio. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about, right? So this happens many times over through the game, where you could gank a lane, but you end up not being able to because you're not there. Clearing this for level 6 is fine because your Fizz is walking back to lane. We don't care about top lane, really, we don't care about this. And their bot lane also just backed because they pushed the wave, killed Jinx. Braum ended up dying, but Tristana went and backed, so Tristana's probably standing around here or here right now. I'm not exactly sure, I wasn't paying attention to that, to the timing of that. Which means after this, you go right to your Wraith camp, and then to mid lane. Look, mid lane again, mid lane again. Just camp the shit out of mid lane. You just run up through here like this, come in either through this spot or around from the back, that spot, like our from behind the wall. That's what I'm saying. Like Galio just used his E right there. You saw that little like skirmish, that little trade they had. Imagine if you were there to capitalize and you charmed him and killed him. Fizz is leaving. Ping him. Careful for Galio. Yep, you did good. After you clear this, go right back mid lane. Right back mid lane. See, this gank should work. He just needs to press R. He just needed to ulti. Yeah. Here should ult. He goes in. Think he dies. Yeah, he dies. And see, the score is like 2-4. Through things like that, where people just get caught out, it ends up happening a lot this game. So that's why your team got so behind. Because there was never like one big team fight. It was just little things here and there that could have been avoided. See the teleport coming in from Galio. I thought that was Gnar, my bad. Okay, so you see how low their HPs are? You still have your ulti, right? The mark is on her, which means you can probably kill her. So, you see how low your teammates are? This HP, Teemo's in here, Laowi's in here. Do you see how low their HPs are? So 1, it's a 3 versus 4. That's the first thing. 2, that's 3, this number 3, one of them is almost dead. So make this a 2 because he can't help you, otherwise he's gonna die. So it's a 2v4, right? When you go up here, their team is already pushing in this lane, right? They can just run up like this and help their teammate, even if he doesn't kill you. Let's say you're a lot stronger than him, you try to kill him. Their team is right here. No matter which way you cut it, this fight is very bad. Like, let's say you one-shot him, you'd still die to his team. That's what ends up happening. Fizz lives, lucky, but Jinx dies. Yeah. Do you see how much HP he has now? Do you see his items? He has Rod of Ages right now. He's pretty tanky. This gank, a gank like this, where you come in like this, he hits the ulti, then you hit the charm, all blah blah blah. This should have happened not at 15 minutes. This should have happened at 3 minutes. This should have happened at 6 minutes. This should have happened at 8 minutes, 9 minutes, 10 minutes. This is right after your camp, your second buff. This is after you clear a camp, take Scuttle Crab back, then gank mid lane again. This is right after that, right after that, right after that. When you camp a lane, that's how it should go. Get rid of these. Like, this gank is good, right? But it's just not strong enough to do all the damage to him. And then at this point in the game, after this gank, there's nothing you can do. At this point in the game, it is pretty safe to say that it's over. Unless the enemy team like makes a really big throw, it's like almost impossible to win the game. Illaoi gets 3v1'd. Teemo's jack useless. Look at this. All this damage comes from Jinx, not Teemo. Look at that. But yeah, that's that. Some good resources to watch about jungling, things like, you know, pathing and all that, is this guy named OFG Scythe. Like, I don't know, scroll down, look for jungle things. Like this one says class-based jungle class-based jungle tracking. That one's really good. It's only like 5 minutes. So if you go down further, he has several videos that are like half an hour long on jungle and understanding, especially this one, jungle and strong side advantages. It explains why you gank certain lanes and matchups, like I was doing in the beginning of the game. I do think he does a better job explaining it, because I learned from him anyway, but I would suggest watching that to understand more why you gank certain lanes. Like why I was saying camp mid lane. Because if you gank top lane, I would say that that's wrong. Like that is just a wrong decision. And if you same thing for bot lane. The lane that was going to help you win the game was Fizz. It was Fizz's lane. Was mid. And so you have to try to get him ahead. And then take Fizz and then bring Fizz to bot lane. And bring Fizz to top lane. And let Fizz do the hard carrying, you know? But anyway, I will upload this.